What do you want? No, I'm kidding. It's Galadon. You're watching Galadon Gaming. It's Royale Rage. And, I waited until I lost an episode to start this one. Didn't take long. Check it out. Right-hand side, I asked on Twitter about a week or so ago for images if you've ever raged so hard that you harmed a device. And, well, let's just say there were no shortage of replies that came back on my Twitter, so I will share those on the right-hand side throughout the rest of this episode. But what can I say? The game induces Royale Rage. It was like Roid Rage was introduced back when steroids were found out to cause these side effects that cause people to get all angry. Well, definitely Royale Rage is a thing, and I would imagine it's here to stay. This game, I don't know. Honestly, in the history of playing games, okay, no, I've gotten pretty mad. I mean, I used to get mad at Missile Command, at Atari games, at Nintendo games. It didn't matter. If I couldn't get that last coin. Okay, so I've always been kind of a competitive spirit, but something about this game brings it out in you. Now, I would have to say a lot of it is the simple fact that you're facing another human being, and of course they're able to taunt you. That doesn't help, makes things that much worse, but I tell you, even in a game where the other player doesn't drop a single taunt the entire game, if I lose, I still feel it coming from the bottom of my gut, just like a burning, oh, maybe that's indigestion, but no, seriously, it is enraging. I don't know what it is about this game, and at least we can all rest assured that you're not alone in those feelings towards Clash Royale when you lose, especially to a particularly enraging deck, which we might see in just a moment in another replay. But now, part of this is actually a good thing. Now, the broken devices, not a good thing, and maybe some of us need to go to anger management school. But the fact that people react so strongly to a game, have that much passion for the game, is probably one of the reasons that I expect Clash Royale to do really well as it moves into the future, simply because people are so passionate about it. People are very, very angry towards the game sometimes, but that also means that people feel maybe just about that much pleasure or joy when they have a particularly hard-fought win. Nothing is more rewarding than just barely eking out another player in a very close battle. But maybe some of it has to do with the cards. There are so many cards in this game that can get to a tower, like the Expo, the Mortar. Now we've got the Royal Giant. We've got the Miner, of course, that people find particularly aggravating. I do, at least. I don't know about you guys. And also, at worst case scenario, you have these guys that'll play a deck where they never really even need to get a troop to your tower. Everything is about ranged damage. We saw that more so in the beginning of the game under first release. It's been changed a little bit so you don't see that as often. But losses like this, for me, I have to admit, not so much fun. Now, this was one of my favorite tweets right here. This guy, Ray's Gaming YouTube, said, I would tweet a pic, but my device is broken. I totally understand. I've come super close, you guys, I have to say. For me, at least, this game actually has helped me in a little bit to control that anger, because in these moments when I feel like throwing the device against the wall, wondering, would it go through that plate glass window? Would it stick into the wall, or would it bounce off? How badly would it get damaged? Yes, I managed to control myself, and I have not broken a device yet, but I do have a little surprise at the end of this episode in relation to that. But we're going to get through the rest of this battle. Yes, this is a loss that I particularly did not enjoy, and then the good luck on top of it, just bad manners, and if I could reach through the phone and strangle that guy, I probably would. Now, personally for me, and everybody's style is different, if I'm losing a really aggravating battle, I will do what's called double-click swipe. And that means I will hit the home button twice, I will swipe up with my finger, and that will turn off the app completely. I shut down the app, and of course my opponent has left the match, which, you know, I don't care. At that point, I don't really care what the other guy is thinking. I just am done with Clash Royale. Well, at least for the next 2 to 3 minutes. As long as it's in long enough time for the battle to be over so I don't pop back in. Nothing is worse than going back into the app and the battle still be going on, and of course you're about to get 3 crowned. So I make sure until that's over, and then I will go back, and unfortunately I usually can't stay away. I head back and play another game. Now, I do know a lot of players who have gone so far as to uninstall the game, at least temporarily, after a frustrating loss. And I really wish that the Apple and the Android stores had a statistic on most installed and most uninstalled games. And I have a feeling that Clash Royale might lead the list, right now at least, for the most uninstalled game of all time, because there's so many people that have uninstalled it more than once. And the beauty, of course, of Clash Royale is with Game Center, you can uninstall it, come back, and guess what? Your progress is still there. Now, this was the battle I was talking about earlier with Kai from Full Attack. Notice that his opponent right here, he's not even making an effort to drop troops because he's got basically all defensive troops. The Valkyrie and the Barbarians and the Ice Wizard are really only there to mitigate offensive damage. I don't think this guy ever intended to get through to a tower with any of those troops. Those are his defensive troops. The Valk, the Barbarians, the Ice Wizard, the Cannon, of course, to stop everything that's coming towards him. And then he's got lightning, arrows, rocket, fireball, all to just do that ranged damage. And honestly, maybe Kai should be faulted for not putting more pressure on his opponent. Obviously, the Inferno Tower was a complete waste in this game, and he should have just skipped it and pushed on to something else and tried to put some more pressure on down the same lane. But it didn't work out, and I'm not going to fault Kai because this has happened to me before, and it's probably, I would rather lose to an Expo or a Mortar or Double Royal Giant or Mirrored Miners than I would to lose to a deck like this, where the guy never really cares about getting a troop to your tower. He's just going to rocket, fireball, lightning you, arrow you over and over and over again. There you see the Barbarians only for defense, just there to take the Hog Rider. Here comes the rocket, and it's just a rocket and then a lightning spell that is going to finish off this battle. And that is just, I don't know, there's little that's more frustrating. And so Kai knows it. There's nothing that he can do to stop this guy as he's rotating. He knows he's rotating around to another rocket, and it's going to be another rocket and a lightning spell that end it. Kai comes close. The minion horde was on its way. He's forced to use the fireball defensively instead of offensively. But as time runs down, unfortunately, this battle has gone on too long. The opponent has got the rocket and the lightning spell up right now, and it's just a matter of making sure that the Hog Rider is going to get stopped first. Here come the arrows on the Princess and the tower. That chips a little more damage off, and here it comes with the minions moving in. The rocket is on its way, and this was so close. The minions just about got there, but the lightning spell finishes it off, and wow is about all you can say right there if you're Kai from Full Attack. So I don't know, you guys. Yes, the game is frustrating, but yes, the game is a lot of fun too. And I want to hear what your thoughts are about Clash Royale. Have you uninstalled it? Have you heard a device? If you have, send me a picture on Twitter or a tweet, and maybe I will use it in a future episode, a moment of silence for all of those lost devices. In the meantime, thank you guys so much for spending a short part of your day with me. Have a fantastic rest of your day, and I will see you back here again tomorrow for more Full Attacks. Alright, just had to make one last check, make sure I was home alone. For you guys that stuck around, yes, there's a little story behind this, my only white iPad and how it got the screen cracked. And it actually came on the first day, you ready for this? The first day that Galawife ever played Clash Royale. Now, she played it a few times, but she was playing the trainer. And of course, she was annihilating the trainer, just beating the trainer over and over and over again. And she looked at me, she's like, this game is easy. She goes, I've won every single match I've played. What's the point? This game is just too easy to win. And I said, well, here, let's try a multiplayer match. And she went out into multiplayer, and I kid you not, the very first battle, she gets stomped, and this is what happened to the iPad. Now, she didn't do it intentionally. She meant to throw it on the bed lightly in frustration, but it went a little further than she expected it to. It skipped off of the comforter onto the ground, and there you go, my first broken iPad ever. Thank you to Clash Royale.